Hello Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Stressed Out 72 here. Today I want to talk to you about the windscreen or window and how to actually get that molded for a certified quality type of windscreen. In the performance ultralights, we have this jog where the windscreen butts up against and is held up by the underneath of that jog, okay, just like any other part here would be, and it's flush, okay, across the body. So it's a nice it ends up being a nice, really nice part to use. This particular windscreen is a polycarbonate. This particular one is 060. We wanted to use the thinnest one we could. That's just to save weight. We can go with the 090. It would probably be about maybe 6-8 ounces more than this one after you're done with it. Our first test was to see if we could actually trim out, okay, the flat piece all the way up here without having too many issues with the surface in either direction. Down here at the bottom, you have the largest bend going this way, okay, the largest radius bend here. Up top there, it's fairly flat, so you could actually get away with it up top there a little more than you could right in this area from this point down. But in order to give it to our customers and to have this certified aircraft quality, what we're going to do is to mold this polycarbonate or a acrylic. Either way it goes. We'll talk about that here in a second. To our customers with it already pre-trimmed for you, and then all you would do is end up fixing your jog and then drilling your holes and putting your nuts and bolts in there and holding it down. So literally it would take you about just to mount the windscreen into your ultralight, you're looking at maybe a couple hours, okay, not a big deal. Let me show you what happens when you try to just use a flat sheet, and then I'll explain these tools here, how we're doing it. So you can see here that a flat sheet, as long as you hold it down, you know, it does pretty good to the surface this way, okay? But I'm also holding it this way. Now, the farther you go up that way, the more the surface has got to bend this way and that way. So the 060 doesn't really want to work with you right up in here because you can see it stays flat straight across, okay, when it has to come down into this jog like that. So what happens is you could almost get away with it, but when you put your two screws in there, even the clecos, between the center of those two, and this is only 4 inches, by the way, between the center, it tends to stick up, and then it doesn't become flush, and you know, it really starts to mess with your fuel economy slightly, and your vision, because it puts little waves in this windscreen. So in order to solve this issue, what you do with certified aircraft, either fixed wing or rotor wing, is you want to make either a thermal formed tool that you'll use for thermoforming, or you make a tool for an oven to heat your plastic in an oven, and you'll be pulling it out and pressing it onto your mold. So here's what ours looks like. Now the main tool underneath here would be pulled off of the plug for the body. Okay, so our mold, okay, the whole shape was in there, and then you have the scribe lines. I'm not going to get into all that. I'll show you that maybe in a later video, but this tool right here, okay, this is the negative image, okay, that comes out about 3 inches past your actual jog, okay, not the cutout, but the jog, okay, the back side of it. So it's about 3 inches wider than that. You'd pull that off, okay, and then you would lay up inside of it, which is what you see here. Okay, from here you have to put some ribs on this part of it, give it some draft all the way along, put a flat sheet, which has to be 3 inches at least all the way on a flat area here that sits on the ribs. Then you'd flip that over, finish it, sanding it and all that, and that would become your thermal formed tool. So they would suck vacuum, heat the plastic, suck it down to that surface. You'd pull it off, okay, and then you would come over here and you would have a post trim fixture. Now, the post trim fixture is actually 1/8 of an inch. In my case, it's 1/8 of an inch wider than this jog line where the jog ends up being. Okay, so it's 1/8 of an inch right there. And then what you do is you have a router. You'd clamp your Lexan or acrylic face down. Okay, so your molded surface would be sticking up like that. You take a router and you'd have the proper dimensions here, and you would router that out. You'd then be able to take that, and it'd be molded now, and you'd be able to stick it right into this jog. It'd be a perfect cut, okay? You wouldn't have any issues this way, and then all you'd have to do is to go along and drill your holes, put your nuts in, bolts and nuts in, and you're done, okay? Literally, our customers that get our molded windscreens for the certified quality ultralight, all right, will literally take you about maybe an hour to maybe 2 hours to drill and attach your windscreen, okay? Doesn't take that long. It's part of this a kit, and so that's how you do it. You start with like I said, a larger mold of your window or windscreen. You lay up on top, put ribs, and I will do another video on that, on how to make your ribs and this flat surface and finish that for thermoforming. And then, like I said, you pull your part off, stick it on here, router it out, and boom, now you're done. So anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another video on how to finish your thermoform tool, and or just a heated up a tool from either a gas or maybe even wood. I don't know how you would want to go about doing it, but We're going to do another video on how to mold this without thermoforming, and then we'll go with thermoforming. So stay tuned.